Hello everyone and welcome back to the Belgian Beer Brothers channel, Cedric here in Antwerp with another brand new brew review. Today we will be talking about another beer by San Miguel in Spain, but this time one that's pretty much only available in Spain itself. Today we will be talking about the San Miguel Magna. Now, with slogans like Que Magnifica or a different blonde beer designed for non-conformist palates that are looking for something different in their everyday beer, expectations sure are high. And thank God for cheat sheets. San Miguel, or rather Grupo Mau San Miguel, is very open in their intentions of making this a high-end daily beer. For one, they opted for a modern fancy teku glass instead of the tried and tested classics, and apart from that they also developed the Magna Roja, an alcohol-free cerveza tostada, so they are expanding this range. For the original Magna, which I'll be tasting today, which is this one here, they developed what they call a cerveza rubia, or a lager dorada, which means a golden lager. It is inspired by the classic Helles export lagers that entered southern Europe through Germany about 100 years ago, and those are known for their balanced, dry and refreshing character, while being a bit more intense when it comes to flavor. This particular one promises more herbal and floral notes because of its three-stage hopping process, which basically means bitter hops, aroma hops and dry hopping. Also, a lot of thought has gone into the packaging, or at least I reckon, because with this vintage color palette of deep green, cream and gold, it has a nostalgic feel, and the subtle gold text on the bottom that reads: Magna es una creación cervecera pensada para aquellos que buscan una mayor intensidad de sabor en su día a día. De color dorado y sutil sabor a lúpulo, posee un cuerpo y amargor equilibrados y una sedosa textura en boca. Which basically means Magna is a creation by the brewers thinking about those who are searching for a higher intensity when it comes to flavor in their day-to-day beer. With its golden color and subtle hops flavor, it has a body and balanced bitterness and a smooth texture in the mouth. Now, since its launch in, I believe, 2020, 2021, they got no less than 14 medals, so they are taking this quite seriously. Although I must admit that there were only 3 gold medals, some silver and a lot of bronze, but nonetheless they have all those medals. So like I said, this is a golden lager, a 5.7% ABV. I did not find out which hops they used, alas, but I can tell you that they used barley and maize for the brewing. Now, I am gonna use a modern teku glass as well, because, well, they want it like that. And I enjoy those glasses. I happen to have one here. This one is by the Brouwers, about whom we are gonna talk in the near future. I believe we could call this gold. So up until now, no lies. Yeah, very clear, very gold, slightly orangey even, and nice white, slightly off-white foam, a lot of bubbles, but a lot of large bubbles as well. Now, fun fact, a lot of people, a lot of Dutch-speaking people, like here in Flanders and in Holland, think, or at least used to think, that Helles came from Helder, and Helder is not just a town in Holland, it is also our word for clear, Helder. So yeah, completely wrong. But they do tend to be very clear. So lovely color, nice bubbling in there. Now, the foam is gonna dissipate quite quickly, but ooh, yeah, hoppy, bitter, slightly malty. But mainly hoppy, as expected, or at least as promised. Let's have a taste. Cheers. Okay, I can see what they mean. Actually, the first thing that I notice is not necessarily the hoppiness, but the maltiness. It is very nice and round when it comes to mouthfeel. And it is rather malty, and only in the second instance I get that hoppiness. It is rather bitter, slightly sweet, but I would say bittersweet. A lot of bitterness, and I think that they used some very classic hops like a Centennial or something like that, or probably Saaz, Styrian Golding, hops that they used in the olden days basically. But yeah, very hoppy, nice and bitter, not as dry as I would have expected or as I would want to, but nonetheless a very pleasant beer. Yeah, on second taste, it's mainly bitterness and the roundness. Now, I do get tickled in the back of the mouth, the weak spots here. So yeah, absolutely pleasant, very thirst quenching as well, quite refreshing. Yeah, and that dry hopping really comes through. So very nice and hoppy. I'm not gonna say that I find these floral notes that they talked about, but I do get those herbal notes. So yeah, of course this is all fantasy, it's all in between the ears because no herbs were added, but I do get a hint of coriander, for example, which is of course all the yeast and the hops. But yeah, very, very pleasant. Not a cerveza tostada as we have seen a lot in Spain, but a very, very pleasant Helles lager. And actually the aftertaste is way more subtle. It is bitter, but that sweetness of the malt and the maize actually shines through in the aftertaste. So again, a very pleasant experience. Which means that when going through to the verdict, I think I am gonna give this a very average or slightly above average 3.5 out of 5. But yes, a very enjoyable beer, a very attractive can, attractive packaging. I am a sucker for these simple and vintage designs, as you guys know by now. And 5.7%, which is slightly heavier than the 5.2, 5.3 that we are used to here in Belgium. So yeah, very, very nice. I have been a fan of dry hop lagers for a while now. I will be reviewing a Belgian dry hop lager in the near future as well. But that's for later. Anywho, thank you guys so much for watching. As usual, if you like this video, comment down below or leave a thumbs up. If you want to see more, hit subscribe and the bell icon. You'll get notified whenever I upload something, which should be every Friday and Sunday at 8 p.m. local time. Yeah, I'll see you guys again on Sunday. Cheers.